So moved.
Motion from Councilman Carson, do I have a second?
I'll second that one in a minute.
Second from Councilman Spear. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried and so ordered. Item 4, Mayor Robertson, discussion for possible action, approval of letter of support letter for the cross-tie 500 kV transmission line project. Proposed 214-mile single circuit, 500 kilovolt kV high voltage alternating current HVAC transmission line. I believe there's a draft in there. There's a motion from Councilman Flanders. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second from Councilman Spears. Is there any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried and so ordered. Item 5, Councilman Spear, Councilwoman Williams Harper, Boys and Girls Club of Truckee Meadows, CEO Mike Worm. Discussion only, presentation on the renovation of the Murray Street School building to house daycare facilities.
Can we have just a minute?
Yeah. We'll take a 5-minute recess.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, I forgot your name. I just introduced yourself.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, fellow council. My name is Mark Jacoby. I'm Director of Frontier Operations and Development for the Boys and Girls Club. As you see the first slide there, that's the Murray Street School that White Pine County School District has given us and worked in partnership with. That's the rendering that we're going to work with for now. It's a rough draft. Go ahead. This is the team I wanted to share with everybody. Mike Warby could not be here tonight, so I'm filling in for him. But Mike is our main driving force with our resource development. He's going to be the one. He has a team of people working with him, and we have great supporters out here, and Ely that's going to really work. That's me up there. And of course, our boots on the ground is Tony Enriquez, our White Pine area director. He's the one you see a lot at all the events. He's Rotarian. Then we have the package. You can't see because it's kind of cutting off our on the screen there, but we have our architect, Thomas Bath, who's a local kid. We partnered with Parallel Line Studios, and he's done the drawings. Go ahead. I wanted to really give you a really brief about us. The Boys and Girls Club Truckee Meadows is the leading nonprofit youth agency in the state, mainly in northern Nevada, but I feel we're in the state. I'm from southern Nevada, and after working for this organization for the last 6 years, I can't imagine any other nonprofit that works as hard and services as many kids as we do across the state. We opened up our first location here in White Pine County through a partnership with the school district back in June of 17, servicing approximately about 50 school-age kids. During our summer program, if anybody really remember, we operated out of the foyer of the middle school gym, and we used the gymnasium that first year. Now we've grown in here at 5 locations here in Ely, and 4 locations in Ely, and 1 in Yale, servicing about 500 members a year, ages 5 through 18. We have great partnerships with the charter school. It's amazing the community we have here in Ely. Our club is open 5 days a week, 51 weeks out of the year. We're servicing a lot of kids. Our whole goal is to enable our youth to become responsible, productive, and caring citizens. And that's kind of the key of what our mission is all about with the Boys and Girls Club. The Early Learning Center, who can pull that just over? Here we go. Pull the projector just a hair. Thank you. So we entered into the Early Learning Center business, that's ELC business, back in 2007. And we opened up our very first location, the E.L. Wiegand Early Learning Center in Reno. Now we operate 4 of them in Reno, and we cater in our centers to over 440 kids the ages between 6 weeks and 5 years old. That is our business. We've really learned how to really grow that business. We have a great executive director that will be coming out here and head up that once the building is built and organize all that. Move it back now. The projector. Wanted to talk a little bit, right there, perfect, thank you. you know, the current child care situation in Ely, Ely's 0 to 5 population outnumbers the licensed child care by a 3-to-1 slot. I have to share with you, last night I went to the concert, the choir concert at the high school, between the middle school and the high school choir. And we went there to see some of our staff that have worked for us, they're in the choir. And just sitting there, I was just overwhelmed by the 18 infants and 1-year-olds that were crawling in mom's arms and people were wrestling with them, not to mention the other couple dozen toddlers that were running around the bleachers. I was overwhelmed by how many young kids we have here. The 2 licensed daycare operating in the school, in a school calendar year, only go from September through June. So that leaves parents like really scrambling from June to September to get their kids somewhere. You have to rely on parents or unlicensed facilities to take care of their kids. The lack of child care options, you know, remove a lot of people out of the workforce. Parents are staying home watching their kids, they're not getting back in the workforce. The ELC will definitely give that opportunity to grow the workforce. Proposed solution, we provide additional child care option for working parents for children's age 0 to 5 years old. We convert the Murray School building into a daycare center for up to 70 children. You know, our year-round program is getting the kids ready for kindergarten, getting them ready for emotional and social emotion. Also, number and literacy programs that we run in our early learning center. So it's a great program, and it's an asset for parents. Go ahead. The renovation of the Murray Street School will definitely be that project in the area. Just imagine a building that's relevant and it's been sitting vacant for 20 years or over 20 years. We're going to go in and we're going to do some things that really work on it. You know, it includes rehabbing. Can you move over just to move it to the projector? Sorry. Yeah. So the project includes not only the building itself, but we're also going to rehab the modular unit, replace the existing playground. It's also, the design work is going to be redoing the parking lot and the existing areas outside. We're talking about the AC unit, everything inside, all the mechanical, the boiler's in there, probably 60 years old. I know they're talking about taking that out, putting in forced air, just revamping it completely. Our projection is to open the fall of 2023. Here's just the floor plan that Thomas Spath did for us. He was really fortunate. He got the old plans from the school district. He went through, found all the duct work, found all the mechanical aspect, did a lot of work on it, and I just wanted to share that. Just imagine that building being relevant again in that neighborhood, being used, people coming, picking up their kids in the playground. You hear the voices and the kids having fun, the laughter back in that neighborhood from that school that's been vacant for so long. This is the floor plan. You'll see it has the 4 big classrooms, has the bathrooms in the middle. The bathrooms will all be outfitted with the small commodes for the preschool. The rooms will be broken up by age groups, and they'll all follow the licensed child care licensing. Especially with the bathroom in the middle, and then you'll see the modular off the side of the prep kitchen. So we'll provide meals for the kids. You'll also see a teacher's area where we'll do trainings and provide prep time for the teachers and the people working in the early learning center. They have a whole set curriculum in the early learning center that helps the kids get ready for kindergarten. It's the pre-K. That's a big thing. It's not just coming and playing and they go through a complete curriculum learning the colors and shapes, the locomotive movements. So it's a wonderful program and curriculum that will provide. Wanted to talk a little bit about thank you, just a little bit. So if I can talk a little bit, remodel the existing Murray Street School, approximately $150 per square foot. These are the totals. Talk about new playground, talk about first year operating costs, and then you'll see funds to establish a reserve account. If you were to see any of our buildings, whenever we open a building, we always have a reserve account to make sure we can keep the building up and running and exist over time. I've worked at 5 different Boys and Girls Clubs in my 33-year career. I've worked in inner cities and I've worked in rurals. And I have to tell you, the last 6 years, I'm so impressed with the way we take care of our buildings, and take care of our equipment, and train our staff on how to use things. You'll see how there were fundings received. I'll talk a little more about that, but we have received so far $525,000. You know, $500,000 of it came from the mine. The Robinson Mine made a huge commitment, and they bought into the community. They understand the need for their workers to have a place for their kids to go while they're out on shift. We also, before I have some more information on who else gave. Go ahead. Here's a little breakdown of where we're getting our money. Now, the screen doesn't do it justice because it's kind of spread out. But it talks about our individual support, our private donation, our Nevada Recovery Grant, and then you'll see the city portion off to the left there. And then, of course, the existing funding is also the existing funding is the 27.4% that we've already received. Request to the City of Ely. The Boys and Girls Club Truck Meadows is requesting $200,000 from the City of Ely to support the Early Learning Center project. The Boys and Girls Club Truck Meadows is fully committed to this project. We've already started by contracting Thomas Bath. The full scope of this project is to complete something that we already have shown success in managing. We are good at our early learning centers. We service over 440 kids on a daily basis in our learning centers. The first and foremost, I want to thank White Pine County School District for offering up the Murray Street School as the site of this project. When we got in and started looking, when we hear about a building sitting for 20 years, you think right away the roof's probably bad, or maybe they've had critters running through it. That building is in really good shape. The roof is remarkably in great shape. And so moving into it and remodeling, it's going to be great for the community. It's going to be a really good project. And then the commitment from the Robinson Mine has been the tremendous kickstart for this project. It had always led to additional donations from the Ken Ross Bald Mountain and a private donor. With that big donation, people are stepping up and wanting to donate to this program and to this project. A similar commitment from local government will build the final momentum we need to pursue the state and private individuals to support the need to bring this project to fruition. I think it's important that everybody understand that, this is a strong community. I'm not from this community, I'm from Reno, but I travel out here once a month. I was here when we started the program 5 years ago. I'm always impressed with this community. I'm always impressed with the bones of the people who want to make things happen. So I know that I'm here tonight representing Mike, and I'm representing the Boys and Girls Club and all our kids that we service here in Ely, and the families that need us most here. And I'm asking you to approve this at your next meeting. And thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any questions? Yes, sir.
And I know you're not an architect. Thanks for the great presentation. The parking over there is really limited. How are you going to expand the parking?
That's a good question. I can definitely bring that to the right person and get you an answer for that.
It looks like you just expand the parking, you're going to take away some of the playground. That's one question.
I think what they do want to move the, right now the current entrance is on the back street, on Mill Street or whatever. We want to move it to Murray Street as the front entrance, that parking lot. And I think they're expanding it across where the old playground, where the sand playground was, that's going to go all the way across. And then where that storage unit is going to be a smaller playground over there, and then a smaller playground, like dual playgrounds, one in front of the module. So they are going to expand that parking lot. I don't know by how many spaces.
So that's right. Do you have an idea what the demographics of the workforce is going to be? Where are the children coming from? Minors, BLM, city workers? Do you have an idea on that?
I think the gentleman from the hospital spoke. I'm sure you'll get people from the hospitals. And I think you have people wanting to move here to work that are not coming because either a housing shortage or because of a child care shortage or something that's preventing them to join your workforce here. I believe the mine wouldn't have made such a big investment in this if it wasn't for people at the hospital. They've expressed that they want to attract professionals to the area, but it's hard to attract professionals to have young growing families. You're going to get young doctors or young nurses to move. They're going to have kids. They need a place for them to go.
Yeah, we gotta give them houses too, so we're working on that.
And then the workforce, I have to share with you, we employ a lot of high school kids at the Boys and Girls Club level. We're hoping that as they grow through our work development program, our leaders in training, and our junior staff, I think we're employing 10, 12, 5 this year. How many have you done since we've been here? About 10 total?
Yeah.
So we've employed 10 high school kids in high school in our junior program, but we've also employed probably 20 juniors and seniors that weren't 14 and 15 and 16. We're the kids that, the first year I was out here, I think my entire crew, other than one person, was entire high school kids that worked that summer. The Saxton kids, there's one family, Deborah, I know their names, Deborah Brady,
Kingston.
the Kingston family, they're strong, and all their kids work for us. I mean, the workforce is here, and I think you're gonna get moms who have kids that wanna join, now they have a place for kids to go, they might work at either the Boys and Girls Club with older kids, or they might work at the childcare with their younger kids. You know, have a place for them to go.
Any idea what kind of heating system you're looking at?
I'm not an engineer when it comes to the HVAC, so I know that we'll work with,
I mean, it's gonna be electric, and you sure don't want diesel fuel.
no, it'll be electric gas, I'm sure. Whatever utility you can get there, which is most energy efficient too.
Yeah, I'd like to go on and find a comment on turn it over.
Just a couple of things. It's amazing to me how everyone is getting behind this. I also know that the high school will have a new program next year, and they've written a grant so they can train future teachers, because we do not have teachers in the state, let alone the country. And so I just see almost every entity in some sort of way getting behind this, and that's so important. And we have, we have a lot of parents. It's finite. We can only hold so many people in our buildings. 70 students is a lot, and it's always really hard, and we always really worry at the end of the school year. All of a sudden, what do I do with my kids during the summer? Because no one changed my work schedule, and I don't have anyone or anywhere to send my kids. Also, there's other daycare in town, but it's expensive. And then Head Start is restrictive according to money that you make. So I guess I'm very excited about this project because it just affects every family, every entity, every business. And Jim, you are exactly right. I'm hoping that our educational structures will grow hand in hand with our housing structure. So we'll really be a force to be reckoned with. So.
One final comment, you mentioned you went to the program last night, you seen all kinds of rugrats running around.
Little guys,
Yeah, little guys, we have long, cold winters, that's why.
Really noted. Any other questions? Thank you again for your time, I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Duval. Item 6, Councilmember City Fire Chief Stewart, discussion for possible action, approval of recommendation to suspend open burning in the city of Ely limits, June 1st, 2022 through September 30th, 2022. This proposed action would not affect previously approved open burning permits. And I know this gets asked every time, Chief, but does this apply to fire pits that people have in their backyard?
No, fire pits are exempted from this, so if people have them in their backyard, those are still usable. Right now, I only got one open burn permit that's still current. It's got about another week left on it. If there is any others that come before ahead of time, we'll be on a case-by-case basis looking at them. But right now, the way it is, we're not getting a lot of moisture, all this wind, things are dry. I think it's a good time to shut it down until probably at least October 1st.
Did it carry over to the county too? Brett?
Yeah, Brett will usually do the same thing. That's what his plan was last time we talked, is he's looking at June 1st also. So,
I'll entertain a motion on the side.
Good one question. On that open permit you have, is that still Cody?
No, actually, that one that I had a question on, I was gonna follow up on that, I haven't seen a permit on that. And so I was kind of leery if that's, because I've been told part of that property is county, part of the city, so they've been calling in Brett, so, I don't know where that all goes. That property's such a mess down there around the corral, but who owns what, so.
Pretty dangerous pile.
I do got one that's in just lower East Ely's, just burning some residual stuff along the driveway with a weed burner, just little tiny stuff, and he may be done already possibly.
What if that pertains to, what if that neighbor of mine burning weed in the alley?
Different one.
Pat.
Different weed.
Pat,
I heard several neighborhoods.
I'll entertain a motion on this then. To approve. Motion from Councilman Spear, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second from Councilman Oliver. Do we have any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? With that, we'll move on to item 10, public comment. Please state your name for the record and you will have 3 minutes.
Pat, I still have 2 permits. You forgot me, but everybody else has, no big deal. Running permits, I can show them to you down in the truck.
They should have a date on it, been signed by now.
I'll look at that, thank you. Mr. Mayor, I left off at the concern I have in regards to the new construction that took place at the convention, the Justice Center. You have ADA access parking, you have 2 steps that the handicap have to go up to, or they have to go approximately 80 feet to the far side. Hasn't been addressed. You just recently have a new addition to the William B. Ryrie. You still do not have proper ADA access across the street. You need to address that. At a recent RTC meeting, Mr. Mayor, I reminded the people there, especially the board, that NRS 244.368, City Building Code supersedes less stringent provisions of County Building Code within 1 mile of boundaries of the City of Ely. We're not adhering to that. The building inspector, I've got animals across the street from where I live. I've given maps of where the city limit sign is, or line. Again, selective enforcement. I was cited by Mr. Allworth years ago, and yet he's looking the other way now. Again, do we have rules and regulations for everyone? We have to do away. Mr. Mayor, I've asked you in the past for a complete list of parking permits that the city of Ely and NDOT has given to those along Great Basin Boulevard. In particular, the area of the new courthouse, jail, sheriff's office, EV station, EV fire station, restaurant, motel, and Cochrane Queen. I was told I need a special permit. I've asked for one. Nothing. We're going back to 2021. I'm tired of the selective enforcement. Mr. Mayor, once again, I'm requesting a complete list of properties and individuals that the city has permitted and allowed to park RVs on the city lots and city streets without living in them. Some have yet to go before the planning commission. I attend on a regular basis and have not seen one application to date. At the recent meeting, I had requested an update on the status of any change regarding the area affected by the floodplain designation Central Ely by FEMA or any other responsible agency. Nothing has changed, but you have selected enforcement. Some people are putting up footings 4 foot above the crown of the street, and others might be 2 feet. Again, you guys are killing housing in this area. You got to stop that. If you want pictures, I'll be glad to give to you. Mr. Mayor,
Thank you, Mr. Chachas, that's your 3 minutes.
I've yet to get any answers from you, Mr. Mayor. We keep coming back. Other than that, I'll find another source to squeeze it out of you. You may not like it.
So noted. Any other public comment? Hearing none, we'll move to item 11. I'll entertain a motion.
Doing good, Joe.
Motion from Councilman Carter, do I have a second? Second from Councilwoman Williams Carter. She acts like she's getting out of here, but she's not. All in favor? Any opposed?
This has been a Georgetown production. George Chachas reporting.